Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I finally finished my Friday the 13th marathon. I normally do this every Friday the 13th, and only Friday the 13th I watch the Friday the 13th films. Normally it's just a weekend thing, but this last week I just ended up finding a bunch of interviews and podcasts and commentaries and stuff, and I just kept going back. I kept trying to stop, but I kept just returning to Friday the 13th stuff during the week, and ended up taking the whole week. But a few things that kept popping up that kind of annoyed me that I wanted to comment on. One is the whole, who played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2, Steve Daskewisz or Warrington Gillette? It's annoying because it's really, I don't understand the confusion. It's really very simple. Warrington Gillette was hired as an actor to play Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 2. He was made up with the prosthetics. He filmed the scene with Jason with his mask, hood, sack, whatever you want to call it, off, and we saw his face. We bust through the window. You know, this cute little guy here, this is Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2. This is the Warrington Gillette makeup. It's his likeness. When you look at the cast, his name, is playing Jason Voorhees. I don't understand the confusion, really. Now, where the confusion does come from is what happened was when he was hired, he was asked, do you have experience with stunts? And of course, like all actors, he lied and said yes, because basically they'll lie. If they get the role, then they'll go out and learn whatever skill they've just said they have. But he may not have been lying. He may have actually done some stunt work in his acting course and was just naive and felt that he could do stunts. So I think day one they had him do the main scene with the makeup and bursting through the window and everything. If it wasn't the first scene, it was like one of the first few. And unfortunately they missed, and he actually didn't go through the window properly, and he hit the window frame and he didn't handle it very well, and the crew were just like, yeah, no, this guy's not a stuntman, we need to get like an actual stuntman. So they basically told him, okay, we don't need you for the rest of the shoot, you can just go and relax. And they went and hired a stuntman to actually play Jason for the rest of the film, because although most of the time he's just running around with a sack on his head, there isn't a lot of stunt work involved in the rest of the film, and he had just done the big main sort of stunt that he had to do, which was burst through the window. They replaced him, with Steve Daskewisz for the rest of the shoot, basically, because he's just a guy running around with a sack on his head, so anyone can play the part. So they just got a regular stuntman, and he went through and did the day-to-day stuff. And as far as I know, Warrington Gillette didn't do any of the work with the sack on, just running around doing stuff. I can't confirm that, but he's never commented on doing any of that. The only thing he's commented on, to his credit, is the scene where he goes through the window. He complains about the makeup, he talks about how he hit the windowsill, the window frame and all that, and how they had to keep doing the scene and stuff like that. And I don't think he's ever really taken credit for Steve's work, but he hasn't really acknowledged it either. But that happens a lot with actors, where they want you to believe that they are the character and the character is, doing everything in the film. They don't want to point out, well, this shot was a stuntman and this shot was a dummy or whatever. I think it kind of takes away from it. So I don't blame him for really just talking about his part and, taking credit for, playing Jason and, the scenes that he did, which is the main sort of one that everyone remembers, where he comes through the window and, he's got no hood on, you see his face, and it's horrific. Now, Steve Daskewisz, on the other hand, he was told after a while that these conventions were happening and he should go to one because, not only will you make a bunch of money, but there's this actor going around saying that he played Jason, not you. And so Steve went to these conventions with a bit of a chip on his shoulder because this other guy was pretending to be him and not giving him any credit. And it's like, I don't know if he ever really gave the stuntman credit for what he did, but I don't think he ever took credit for anything that he did either. So I think that's a bit unfair. And Steve definitely went in with a chip on his shoulder and an attitude, because he felt like he'd been wronged. And I think in a way people sort of created this drama and this sort of this competition between the two, to sort of prove who played Jason or whatever. And as far as I know, Warrington Gillette didn't really know what was happening, but Steve Dash was really playing into it. And I just think it's really sad. It takes some of the fun out of it to know they were fighting and all that. But this is Jason from Part 2. Warrington Gillette played him. It's really that simple. Steve was the stuntman. He may have done pretty much all of the work, all the running around doing stuff, but anyone could do that. And in other Jason films, there have been other people who jumped in and played Jason in second unit and stuff like that, because you can just put the hood on or the mask on or whatever. So, yep, it was annoying me. I just wanted to comment on it. I'm kind of tired of people playing it up and acting like they can't tell the difference between an actor and a stuntman and the roles. So, yep. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And yes, I am playing homage to Betsy Palmer's Pamela Voorhees from Part 2, where she, you know, played the role in a black turtleneck on a black background, trying to look like a floating head. So this is my little nod to her. But yeah, I'm done with Friday the 13th this year. There isn't a Friday the 13th till next year, I think October or September or something, but I've decided each year now I'm going to do a Friday the 13th on the 13th of June, because that's Jason's birthday. Even if it's not a Friday, I'm still going to do something, because I need there to be a consistent Friday once a year that I can rely on, because it moves around so much, and sometimes you'll go a whole year without a Friday the 13th, or there'll just be one, and at least this way I know I get one and maybe another one. So yeah, but I'm going to go. Feel free. Did I say all that? Well, ding the bell as well. I'm going to go. Bye.